It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millis Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedules, horse biting, and seasonal hunting information with my outdoor media analysts Joe Allen Dunn and Kevin Sims. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millis Ferry hunting and fishing report.
Team Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the C&D Silver Shag. Team Bigfoot in
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gettin Outdoors podcast 196 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report. I'm in the studio at the Grampian Hills Outdoor Media Center. Joe Allen and Kevin are in Dunn Sports in Thomasville, Alabama. We got some bad weather in the area, and we thought it'd be best just to stay off the road. How you guys doing?
doing great, Big Daddy.
Doing good.
What's the weather like over there? It's a little. I see some thunder and lightning and raining, but it ain't no wind or nothing over here.
It's starting to come through over here.
Yeah. A little bit of wind, a lot of lightning and rain.
All right. Well, everybody be safe out there. Good afternoon. Everybody tuned in. Noonan Hall over in Natchez, Mississippi. Bud Williamson. Bud, he was in the store today, wasn't he, Joe Allen?
He was here today, and he got that checkbook out of that billfold. He was buying him some stuff.
Did you give him a whole % discount?
Well, we talked about it, and
get the no one fan discount.
Yeah.
And he brought one of his boys with him, and he was hunting something special. And he found it a game camera, and he walked out of here though shaking his head. He done looked at something that he really, really wanted, and I imagine he'll be back for it.
Well, that's what it is the season to be jolly.
Yeah.
What's going on, Lance Cabinets, Robert Hudson, Moody Manus tuned in, the Reeling Redneck. How you doing, my friend? Freddie over in Meridian, Mississippi. Wally Bedwell's tuned in Greensboro, Alabama. Lou Cobb's tuned in. How you doing, Lou? We got a lot to talk about. We just got through with the podcast with Eddie Salter. Let me tell y'all, it's nobody that knows hunting better than Eddie Salter. He's not only a turkey hunter, a deer hunter, but he is an excellent woodsman. And I really enjoy talking to him every year. I talk to him about hunting the rut. And have y'all seen any rutting activity over y'all's way? It's a little early, isn't it?
Well, I hadn't been in the woods really. Hayden's been taking care of our stuff down there, keeping the feeders and all full. But I had some photos sent to me and some videos, which you have them young bucks will get fired up when that first cold hit. They always do, but then they quit, and then the big ones is going to take over. You know, they usually going to be after this. What is it? After the shortest day of the year, once everything turns around, that's really when it's going to happen. So that'll be on over in January, like it always is.
Yeah, like it always is. But be on the lookout. Be on the lookout, because it's been hot.
Black belt deer, the week or two at the week of New Year's, and black belt deer around Dallas County, they start to get going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's worth watching. And with me and Eddie talked about the cameras now. With the cameras now and Facebook, you know, everybody knows when the deer in rut. That old Brian Taylor tuned in. I've been worried about old Brian. Somebody called me today and wanted a cat fishing guide, and I gave them your number, Brian. So if they call you, you'll know who hooked you up. But I ain't seen you around. You ain't been fishing in a while. We've been worried about you. Got a lot to talk about today. Miller's Ferry, and I did not call the Miller's Ferry Powerhouse or the Jones Bluff Powerhouse today, simply because all this rain coming in, it's no way to give you an accurate forecast. You're just going to have to call that number to find out what they're doing. Temperatures in the river, Joe Allen, I guess they fluctuating. It's so warm now. I sent to the bank to put on the clock the river and the sloughs 58 to 52. That's gonna hit it pretty close.
That was a little bit cool, I think. Most everything Sunday was still, 60 to 61 in the river and all.
Below the dam was 60 Sunday morning at daylight.
Yeah. So that river's still pretty warm, but after this, it's gonna plummet a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We talking about 30 degrees for 5-6 nights in a row.
It'll drop in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Raymond daytime highs won't be 50.
North Carolina. And Jared Hudson tuned in with the Coon Hunters Outdoor Ministry. They've been catching some coons. Y'all ever get you any coons, Joe Allen?
I got one. I got to get some more. Got to get Hayden on that too again. He wants to learn how to be a trapper, so he was trapping them for me.
Okay. All right. Well, this Thursday, y'all, I went over to Claiborne and shot this little old video. Everybody wanted to know about the dredging boat. And there it is. It's going all the way up, clean all around the lock. And you see it's putting all the spoils out in a big sandbar over there. And boy, I tell you what, you have to see that. I was up on that bank. You can see my truck up there on the bank. I was pretty close to it. You got to hear that. That thing is burning some diesel fuel, son. Oh, woo, 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 woo. It is sucking up mud out of that river. Now, that's a strong piece of equipment right there. So I'm mighty, mighty glad to see that. And I know the folks down there are glad to see it too. Another thing I wanted to mention, and this is just in the planning stage, but we are planning to do a Camp Chef photo challenge in 2023, and it's going to be a monthly contest. It's going to be a photo contest where you send in a photo of your prepared wild game, whether it's a plate, a stovetop, or the buffet with everything in it. We're going to allow you to submit 3 photos per month, and brief description. Put a brief description of your plate. Recipe is optional. If you want to put the recipe in there, that's optional. Be sure to put the date, the county, the state, and hashtag. This is going to be very important. Hashtag it GOCCPC. That way you can type in the hashtag GOCCPC and see every picture that is sent in. So that is very important. That must be on the photo. And the photo with the most, this is for the likes, shares, or engagements, will win a monthly cooking gear prize from either Dunn Sports, Safford Trading Company, or Coast to Coast True Value in downtown Camden. And those are the 3 sponsors that have the best variety of cooking stuff that I know of. And we're going to give a good, nice prize away every month. and the winner will be announced on the 1st of every month. And the top 12 winners of 2023 will be judged for the grand prize, and we're either going to give away a Cajun cooker or one of those big, nice Blackstone grills. We might give one of each away. But anyway, we're going to try this. Anybody got any suggestions of any way we can change it? Somebody today was mentioning the vote, how to, on Facebook, it's going to turn into a popularity contest. But that's not necessarily so, because we're going to count the likes. We're going to count the engagements. And the engagement is when somebody clicks on the picture. So that is going to count just as much as you share it. So if somebody shares it to another page or something like that, that's going to count too. So it's not just going to be the likes. It's going to be the likes, engagements, and sharing. And so we'll see how it works. It might not work, but we're going to try. We're going to try. Old Patrick Jones is on here, man. That's an honor to have him on here today. He's been doing some kind of fishing this past week. Appreciate you tuning in, Patrick. All right, let's see. The photo contest, the Crappie Masters had their tournament, the Alabama Crappie Masters last weekend up in on the Neely Henry, and he had 28 boats. I don't know who won it, but Brandon Threadgill and Jonathan Phillips were third, I think. But let me tell you, that guy is doing a great, great job, and he made the announcement today that because he has getting some sponsorships from Prattville, he has moved the date from, not the date, January the 14th is the day of the next tournament, but he has moved it from Swift Creek to Cooter's Pond. So we'll go over all that as the weeks come along. Safety, safety, safety. Everybody knows we've had more tree fall accidents this year than double than we did last year, triple really, 9 in all. So, me and Kevin talked about it last week. You got to practice safety. Wear those safety harnesses, please, oh please, and be sure to practice safety, safety, safety. There is a job opening at the Dallas County Lake for a manager. That would be a pretty sweet little old job. To manage the Dallas County Lake. That job is opening. You go to outdooralabama.com and apply if you are interested for that manager's job in Dallas County Lake. Old Mercy Man done bought him a restaurant up in Selma. He's finna go into the restaurant business.
Yeah, plenty of practice. Cooking all them ribs there.
Yeah, heck yeah. He needs to be in a restaurant.
Yep.
Gettin, Wayne Edgeworth, how you doing, my friend? All right, let's see. That's all. Y'all got anything else you need to announce? I ain't got anything yet. Everything's
well. We got. Remember, in a couple more weeks, I'm gonna have the flyers out for the jugging tournaments at Miller's Ferry this year.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember them dates. I need to write them dates down.
Well, the first one will be, I think it's February the 18th, and the second one will be over, I want to say it was May the 13th, I think, but I can't, I'm not positive. Again, I got all the information in there. I hadn't made the flyers up yet, but we're going to have them ready here by the first of the year.
All right, good deal. And Team Bigfoot, you gonna fish it, or you gonna put it on?
I'm probably going to fish it.
Yeah.
It may be better for me to sit back and just help you commentate and make predictions.
That's a cop out. That's all that
well,
is.
No, Kevin, he might as well sit out there. He ain't gonna,
just as well. He has really struggled in the last two.
I'll be a good commentator.
You need to donate some money to Kevin and Travis, so because they gonna take your money.
Well. Well, I'm glad they are. I want my team or my friends' teams that I've been associated with to always be in there.
You know what he told me, Kevin? He said he figures he's like Nick Saban. He said all of his assistant coaches that he's taught how to jug trying to beat him now.
Well,
They
I mean,
trying to beat you.
that you could kind of use that analogy, you know, but like Nick Saban ain't never had but one beat him. And like I said, we kind of like we're not on the same plane there.
No, he had two. He Jimbo
Two.
Fisher
That's right. He got
and
two of them
Georgia
beat him.
coach.
That's right.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's right. That's right.
Good evening, Ken Clayton. How you doing, my friend? Luke Cobb is speaking to you over there. Ryan Gunn, Team Fishmasters in the house. Boy, he is. Ryan is doing some jigs now. I can tell you, he's putting together some great jigs. All right, let's go over the weekend hunting and fishing report. Well, Patrick, we appreciate you getting on here, man. I don't know what you need to be teaching us something about crappie fishing, though. But we do appreciate you tuning in. All right, look at him. We're going to start off with catfishing. Tuesday night, I listened to the SmackDown Catfishing live show, and they finally answered my question about bumping for catfish. And I ain't going to tell y'all what they said, but you can go listen to the show. And in about 12 minutes into it, they talk about bumping for catfish. And I'm telling you, I don't know anybody that's ever done it before on Miller's Ferry, but it's pretty cool how they do it. Bumping for catfish on SmackDown Catfishing live show Tuesday night. Go check it out. Travis and he caught some fish last week. He fed us pretty good Saturday night, Kevin. Travis did. I'm telling you, I gotta give him credit.
Yeah, he did good. He did good. He done most of the cooking too. I helped him a little bit, but he did the cooking, cleaning. He's learned finally how to really trim them catfish where it ain't got no red in it and they taste real good.
Yeah, they were good. They sure were good. And I have not talked to anybody else that's been catfishing. When I went down there below the Claiborne Dam to watch that dredge, I couldn't help but think about old Lonnie Ray. Now, in this high water, he'd be fired up, wouldn't it?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
right.
no
You're
doubt.
right.
Stephen Tidmore, hey guys, looks like it's fixing to push them paper mouse up in the trees. Yeah, you're right. That's what it looks like. Gonna push them up in the trees down at Brush. Love the podcast, BDL, and all your guests. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it. Really do. Denise is tuned in. Kevin, how you doing, Denise?
Hey, Denise, how you?
I got Denise some pecans over here too, Kevin. Y'all, you need to come get them for.
Well, we need them. We got a new recipe we worked on this week. We need some more pecans.
Well, I got you some over here. Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick. I was thinking you was Eric Cagle's partner, but no, you're Shane Jones's brother with the tracking them deer. Yeah, okay. You the deer tracker. I'm sorry. I got you mixed up with Patrick. It's a Patrick that fishes with Eric Cagle. That's who I thought you were. But anyhow, glad to have you. John and Jessica Farmer on here too. Now there's some great crappie fishermen. Did a great job last weekend in the Alabama Crappie Masters tournament. Yeah, well, hey, you ain't got to catch nothing, Patrick. Your brother can take care of you. I guarantee you. We call him the crappie gypsy because he's just like an alcoholic going into DTs. He don't know if he wants to go to Texas, Demopolis, Mitchell, Martin, Miller's Fair this weekend. He's so worried about this rain coming in here. But anyway, catfishing. Let's get back to catfishing, Joe Allen. What's this water gonna do? You go jugging back in the sloughs? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, this water this time is going to start to really make the move. It did a little bit last time, but I think long lines is out of play. You be some around the edges of the bank, around some of those mouths and creek mouths and slough mouths, and which the guys dragging, they know where to get when all that kind of water changes up. But me, I'd have to go back in the flats and start throwing out, short line jugs. But I'd be honest, a lot of this water and stuff's going to make everything transition, and it may take them a little while to get, geared back up to it or get, back in that, where they should be. So it's going to take them a little while to get, used to the transition. And but I think the shallow water flats and flats and channels going in the flats is going to be where to go now with all this water.
Well, I can tell you this: it's going to be a challenge this weekend if we get that 3.5 inches of rain like they say we're going to get all the way up to North Alabama. So I don't know. I just don't know.
I think the short line jug is going to work, but the best bite this weekend is going to be your limb lines. If the water jumps up high, as I say, your limb lines or some trot lines from shallow water, where they'll stay in one spot right there, that shallow water. The fish are going to be doing the moving this time. You ain't got to have them jugs scattered out. I mean, you're going to catch some like that, but now limb lines and some shallow trot lines tied off the bank, pulled out there with a 25-foot line in their backwater. If the water jumps up, much they think it's going to, that's where they go in there and loop. Whether they stay in there or not, they go in there and loop.
I guarantee you, and Philip Sims is going to be out there putting them limb lines out. I guarantee you. Yeah, I guess. Stephen Tidmore is asking me about pecan trees. Said he ain't got 5 gallons out of all his trees, 8 big trees. I wish I could help you with that, Stephen. You're going to have to call your local farmer's ag agent, because I don't know nothing about no pecan trees. Do y'all?
Well, my mama's trees didn't have none this year.
Yeah.
Very little.
So, I just heard the old folks talk, that a certain amount of rain makes the trees do really well. Too much rain is just like not getting enough, that it hurts pecans. You end up getting all this leaf growth instead of getting your buds that make your pecans. I've heard that all my whole life.
All right, so catfishing this weekend, limb lines with rising water, always catches the catfish, jugs, short line jugs in the backwater, correct?
That's right.
That's right.
All right, we go to crappie fishing, and as we go to crappie fishing, look who just tuned in. I get asked more questions about who is Chris Blunt. Y'all see all those pictures he sends me every week, him and his daddy on that Alabama River catching them fish. And I had him on my show notes. He limited out, and he's fishing on the riverbank. So, Chris, can you give us any information? Just type it in. Where you catching them? How deep you catching them? What you catching them?
Good luck with that, big dude.
Well, it don't hurt to try, Kevin. But he sure catching some good ones. And Boats Guide Service had he took a client out talking about Shane Saturday in Demopolis, and they had a a good day. Lou Cobb said you need to put some zinc on the pecan tree.
Yep.
My nephew Jimmy Lawler bought him a boat, and he's been going about a dozen times. He got a bite, and he went Saturday, and he caught 15 and kept 5, and he was sure happy. He wanted to fish in a crappie tournament now. That's what Chris said. Minnows 14 to 24 feet deep. So you know where he's fishing, Joe Allen. He's on that riverbank.
Oh yeah, everybody knows that's where the word of the last couple of weeks, And but Donna actually caught some shallow around the piers at 6 foot of water. So that with that water being 61, 62 degrees, fish still ain't where they're supposed to be this time of year.
They are confused with that hot water.
Yeah, as soon as after this cold and this high water, it's honestly going to get actually better, because it's going to bunch them up finally, I hope. And then it'll be more consistent. You'll go to a top out in the river and be able to catch 10 or 12 or 15 or 20, not 1 or 2. And have to hunt them.
I also got a video from Pam and Ronnie Knowles, who are camping up at Prairie Creek. That's up above the Jones Bluff Locking Dam. And that is probably the most underfished, least traffic area of anywhere on the river. And I mean, he had 30 slabs. Hey, Joe Allen, look what Chris says. You got to find the banks where the current is slow. What do you say all the time?
Gotta find the eddy.
You got to find that eddy. Mm-hmm. That more Chris giving us some good. We need to get him on the show.
Well, me and Kevin was talking that before the show come on. We was talking. Kevin was asking me about how bad was the current above because he was down below, and they fished down there. And I told him, certain banks you got on, the water was ripping, and you had to get over on whichever side of the bank the current was the least or where it slowed down the most, and that's where you found the fish.
And y'all are going to have to take Shane out there and show him how to fish that riverbank, because I ain't never heard a grown man cry the way he was crying Saturday because that water was moving so fast.
Randall hit him pretty good the week before. He did pretty good, too, in the river.
Yeah, he sure did. All right, anything else on the crappie? You going crappie fishing this weekend?
I got me a new crappie pole, Big Daddy.
What?
I bought me another pole this weekend, crappie pole.
What'd you get?
I got me a light. I got rid of that damn medium heavy. I got a light. I got a show on light one, 7-footer. I'm ready.
He got one of them duckets in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my little carbon fiber. I bought me a new carbon fiber reel. That thing don't weigh 4 ounces the whole damn setup.
How long is that ducket rod? 7 foot?
7 foot.
Yeah, I might have to get me. You got a nutting over there, Joel?
Oh, I got a sack full.
All right. The crappie that John and Jessica Farmer are catching this week are spread out. 63-degree water has them confused down in Lower Alabama. He fishes down there in Gant Lake, I think. They are on wood here. So so they and that's a good thing to say. They are confused. There's no doubt about it.
Well, everything is. The bait's confused. The all your game fish are confused.
Well, I went out there Friday afternoon with Jimmy for a little while just to show him how my live scope works. And we went up into G's Bend Slough, and I have never seen as many balls of crappie with big fish in the middle of them. I've never seen that before till Friday afternoon. And I believe that's crappie in them balls of shad. Oh,
yeah, definitely. They'll cruise along there with them. Sometimes it's bass. These bass will be up on them.
Yeah.
Catfish. Well, that one day me and Joe Allen was checking some new tops we put out, and it was little crappie. I say there was smaller fish, all in the top part of that new structure we put out, and there was 2 big yellow cat going round that thing like a shark up under that thing. It was so funny. We sat there and watched that for 10 minutes. It was 2 big fish. They were going round and round, just waiting on something to drop down off the top of that daggone structure.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing what you can see with that live scope. Now, all right, so crappie fishing this weekend with that water like it is, what would you do, Joe Allen?
I'd have to come out of the river probably. I'd be right in the edge of it. If it gets real high and real swift, I've actually sometimes you'll actually have to shallow up, fish up on top of that ledge, 12 to 14 foot instead of way off of it. But they're gonna be wherever there's slack water. I would maybe go inside some of the sloughs and get out of that real bad water if it is, and hunt some of those fish that'll be running along the channels in there.
Bait. Go where the bait's at. When it's gonna push them bait. The bait is gonna push out the river when it gets this swift. If it gets swift as we think it is.
Yeah.
And, whether they in 10 foot of water, or 8 foot of water, or 16 foot of water, the fish are gonna go. They're gonna follow the bait. I mean, it's getting time of year. It's time to start getting fattened up for the spawn.
And
even though the water temperature
it's gonna be cold this weekend, so be sure to wear your long johns and get you some of them hot hand warmers. I can tell you can't have enough of them.
Well, I mean, for this weekend, you might order crappie fishing off and go get in the deer stand, because it drops down, it's gonna make something move.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Hey, there you go. Well, let's talk about bass fishing. They had a bass tournament at Swift Creek prior to the South. 1936 won it. I was pretty excited about that. But I looked down to 4th place, 13 pounds. So like Kevin says, you get that one big bag and then it drops down real bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the bass, they scattered out and confused as the crappie, and and probably I don't know what the guys did, but that they probably didn't do the same thing all day. They probably caught fish on multiple patterns, because the fish ain't really locked down, on nothing. I mean, even the river fall spots, they're not locked down yet because it's water's too warm, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you went below the dam. What did you do, Kevin? What did you do now?
We didn't have no good day. We left out with 3 units running to go down there and try to catch some hybrids and maybe a big spot or two, and got down there on our little pile of rocks, and they cut the west unit off, wasn't but 2 running. We fished an hour before we got a bite, kept changing baits, and then and actually Jamie put on a 25-foot running crankbait. He caught a 3-pound spot and a 4-pound spot on a monster crankbait, and I caught a gar, and we was piddling around there fitting to leave. It done got about 9:30. We could get ready to leave, and Jamie hooked a dinosaur, and we fought that thing for 30, 40 minutes, and he had a spoonbill hooked in the nose with that 25-foot crankbait, and it's the biggest one I've ever seen. His bill was 3.5 inches wide, 3 foot long, body probably another 5.5 foot long, had about a, I don't know, 18, 20 inch wide fork in his tail.
Wow.
And we wrestled that thing forever trying to just get that $25 crankbait out of his nose, you know. And could never get him pinned down where we could do anything with him. And I laid down the boat and I grabbed him with a pair. I grabbed that hook on that crankbait with a pair of dildo pliers and locked up on it. And that thing took off and snatched me about a foot across the deck of that boat before the hook come out. Like I thought he had done. Jamie said, I'd have let go when he told me, you know. Yeah. But I held on, but the hook come out.
Well, now, why did not you have the GoPro going?
I did have a GoPro going, but it was sitting on the stand. You really can't see nothing but what's going on the deck. And I'm going to send you the footage. I had that, but you really can't see the fish because I didn't go back and get it and turn it over the side because the fish is in the water, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I got it on the stand.
I want you laying down in the boat with the fish pulling you about out the boat. That's what I want.
I said, I'll send you the footage.
All right, good deal. I want to see it. All right, so if you're coming bass fishing, Kevin, this water's going to, like Joe Allen, you might want to switch from bass fishing to cat fishing this weekend.
I think that the probably Saturday with the first couple of days of this stuff, Friday and Saturday, it's probably going to be slow. You know, Sunday when the temperature kind of levels out just a little bit, we've had a little cold weather, you know, and Saturday evening may be good, you know, but the fish they got to start feeding, and they're going to start gorging on the shad. It's a shad bunch up, or your bait bunches up. It's going to start drawing them fish to them. You know, you may find a school that's 1 pound. You may find a school that's 5 pounds, but they're going to start bunching up. You know, I just think the first shock of that cold weather is probably going to make it kind of slow. You know, and it's going to be hard to fish in the river. You know, you may find a few eddies or a few cuts that might have a few fish in them, but I believe that. You know, the second, third day, this cold front, that it's going to really, the bass fishing will pick up, you know, especially if you can get on the bait. It's the time of year now where you're supposed to be able to pull up on a point or a cut and, and catch 12, 15, 20 fish at the time, you know, when the water, normally it'll be in the mid 50s, low 50s, and it really starts to get productive, you know, but we're not there. You know, the water ain't, temperature ain't, but you know, I think a couple of days in this front, the fish will kind of level out and get back on the bite again.
What about the diamond bait A-rigs? Are they in play yet? Is the water cold enough for them?
Yeah, we was catching them on the A-rigs, and you know, Jamie, they really was booming, and then all of a sudden it's warm front and the sales slowed down because people went back to the single swim baits like on the Tennessee River chain and over the whole nation. As it's warm front, people got away from the A-rig a little bit, went back to single baits. And Cole actually had called and said that he had caught more fish on a single 2.8 than he did on the A-rig. But the A-rig bite, that water temperature, as soon as it starts turning around, it's gonna be back on because we did catch a fish on it week before last when it was cold. We went fishing. We didn't catch it before, but we caught 2 of them come off A-rig and 2 of them come off crankbait. But there wasn't any water moving. It was slow, you know. And the time before that, we just fished a spinnerbait. We didn't even throw A-rig none, but the water temperature was 59, 58 that day. You know, it had before it warmed up. But it's in play. And Cole and Dylan and Tanner, all the guys we know up there, this guide and on Chickamauga, you know, they was really hitting them on it, really good. And the sales was just blowing it off the chart. I mean, we probably sold at this early in the year, probably sold almost as many baits we sold all last year. I mean, Jamie's been really bowed up, and He's been working real hard on the marketing. Got a few new things coming for next year. Spinner baits are in play for his new baits, and this spring I feel like they'll be a big mover. And he got another new product that'll be coming out. He did release his hooks. Don't have many. Having an issue with logistics on the hooks, but he's got a new swim bait hook. With a 1/16 with a 1/0 hook, 1/8 with a 1/0 hook, and then fitting on up to a 5/0 hook. And but having a little issue getting the hooks, but they're selling really good. But it's gonna be a new product. I ain't gonna say it, but it's gonna be something new. Gonna probably hit hopefully before the end of spring. Hopefully, maybe.
Diamond baits made in Clark County, Alabama. All right, let's talk about the small game. Corey Ingram, I'm telling you, he's got to be one of the best waterfowl hunters I've ever seen. He's up there in Dallas County. He killed a black duck this weekend. Is that considered a big duck, Kevin? A black duck?
Yes. It's in the mallard family.
Mm-hmm. And he had some good wood ducks, and he's got a beautiful dog, and he takes some great pictures and send them to me. I don't know where he's hunting up there, but he got him a pretty good little honey hole up there on the Alabama River around Selma somewhere. I have not heard from many duck hunters. Have y'all heard anything, Kevin? Did any ducks that y'all heard of?
Last week, the polishing pond at the mill had a good group of ducks on there. Like it was some spoonbills. It was some mallards out there, but it was a lot of spoonbills. But it was migratory birds that are here. And we had we got, I don't know, it's probably 16, 18 of those whistling ducks just staying here.
Yeah,
and,
they nest in here.
Yeah, some of them don't ever even leave. They'll stay all summer. But there's still a few teal that hadn't left. I don't know, I'm not sure why, but it was a few teal still out there. But lots of spoonbills, a few gadwalls, a few mallards. But we definitely got a slight migratory surge just came in.
Good. That's good to hear. Like I mentioned a while ago, Jared Hudson and the Coon Hunters Outdoor Ministry, they've been whacking some coons, and it's been a little too hot, he said, but they went the other night. Now, this is getting to be coon hunting weather, squirrel hunting weather, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't know about everywhere else, but at my house, I am seeing more rabbits on my game cameras and more rabbits between my house and Highway 28 than I've ever seen in my life. It ain't no shortage of rabbits in Canton Bend, Alabama.
Well, that's a good idea.
I tell you what, after this rain today and the wind and all, the squirrel hunting is going to really take off and
blow all the leaves off.
Blow all the leaves off, which some of them, I know Shannon sent me a picture. Somebody had come by. They had a big hunt this past week down in the forks of the river. And they brought him about 40 squirrels in a cooler there that they had killed that whole weekend. And so I think they're going to cook a bunch of them one night. But they were they must have had a real good hunt and had some good dogs down there.
Well, what about you and Scott and Sarah and Dixie and Peanut? Have y'all been?
No, not yet. But, I got to get all this Christmas stuff out of the way now. So I'm tired.
Oh, it's an excuse, ain't it, Kevin?
I no comment. Well, on a different note, talking about the squirrels and the rabbits and the coons and stuff like that, it's several people at the mill just got back into the trapping. And, most of them turkey hunters, that's getting into it. That I know they've probably in the last, I'm going to say, probably 3 weeks, they've caught 5 or 6 coyotes. These guys that ain't no easy feat. And one of the guys there, he had 3 great big old mature ones. It wasn't some of your juveniles, but it was nice. It was some nice coyotes they would catch, and that's good. That's good for the small game.
That's exactly sure is.
And the turkeys.
All right, that's all I got except for the deal. Be sure to get your Wilcox Area Chamber of Commerce big buck tickets if you're hunting in Monroe, Clark, Marengo, Dallas. What you got for sale there at Dunn Sports, Joel?
These spy points, I'm putting them on sale. I got a overabundance of them in inventory, and they going on sale for $89.
All right, now what is that? What camera is that? Is that the
micro link?
Micro link. And let me tell you about those spy points. I got 4 of them. And you can buy that camera for less than $100. And for $120, you buy the annual plan for $120. You get all the pictures sent to your phone that camera will take for a year. That is a deal for less than let's say 120. About $200, you get a camera that sends pictures to your phone all year long, and that's one of the cameras you can put on a feeder because it's unlimited pictures. You can look at everything that comes to your feeder.
Yeah, mine is going off all night long. My phone is blinking over there.
The only bad thing about putting those cameras on a feeder is it eats them batteries up. So you better have plenty of battery. But you can hook up a solar panel to them. You can hook a solar panel up to them.
Yep.
But they're $89 for the Spy Point.
I got them. These
Micro link.
They're gonna have. I got them both ways, either Verizon or AT&T.
Yeah. Okay. Todd Prater's done tuned in.
Brody's supposed to talk to Daniel and try to work. We're gonna try to work up a day, get up with Todd about doing an interview with Daniel, Brody's coach, and Brody for the Dallas.
Yeah, good. And Todd needs to do an interview with you with the Diamond Bait about Diamond Baits too.
Yeah.
Trey Wade's tuned in. How you doing, Trey? Appreciate you tuning in. All right, Joe Allen, it's gonna be cold this weekend. Have you sold out all of your insulated clothes and stuff?
No, still got a good many. Like I said, this cold though is gonna make them come look. I had one guy today though come on and hit my sale rack, and he loaded up because I had a bunch of 2X and 3X on it.
Damn,
he was snatching them off the rack.
Yeah, you forget about your old 3X buddies, don't you?
I got one right here. This nice brownie little light jacket in a 3X left.
And Hydro Fleece.
It was regular $94. It's on sale for $39.
All right. God dang, that is a deal right there.
Well, I got some shirt jackets, long underwear, some Drake Max 5 camo shirts over here. I got them in some extra large or stuff like that. But, that's a good looking shirt. A lot of your duck hunters, that's the one they wear out to town at night. It's not the one that usually hunt in.
That's casual wear right there.
Because they got it on sale. They regular $60 shirt for $39.99.
All right. Well, that is done sports Christmas time. And what is the hottest thing for Christmas in the outdoor wearing stuff, Joe Allen? What's selling the most?
Well, still your basic stuff as far as our Browning camo shirts, pants, and jackets, and all the Drake casual wear pullovers and vests and stuff like that. This cold weather's gonna have them looking all that gloves and face mask and toboggans and neck gaiters and stuff like that.
And if you want any deer scent, you better get it, because I know at Christmas time it's over. January, can't buy none here. They'll be gone. And Joe's got a pretty good stock right now. But if you want some deer scent, you better come on in here and get it.
What about rattling bags and rattling horns?
Yeah, got all that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I got. Anything else? I appreciate you guys. I tell you what, that little old camera and microphone does a heck of a good job. The only thing, Joe Allen, next time you need to put Kevin's name. You just got your name in there. You need to put Joe Dunn and Kevin's name in there.
Well, I'm the last thought every time, Big Daddy.
I know you ain't either.
Well, Cameron, when I had my hat on, Cameron said, "Let me run home. Kevin's gonna be with you." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I got an elf hat there now. He can be an elf with you up there."
I wish you'd have worn it. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad. I think my eye weather's done passed. It looks calm.
It sounds like ours.
It's quieter out here now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see y'all. You coming over here this weekend, or what's the deal, Joel?
We got to hang out over here and do that cooking. And Shannon's doing some cooking out of Horse Creek. I think I'm gonna go out there for a little while Thursday evening, I think.
Are we going to have a chef, camp chef before Christmas?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna have to do a deer meat dish, a deer dish using front shoulders and necks,
Yeah.
And I'd want to emphasize, these are cuts of meats that most people
Throw
discard,
away.
and they're really good cuts of meat to eat. And we've always kept them. And the duck guy's going to be later on before we get him on there, and we hadn't not nailed down a helper chef on the coons yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're looking forward to the next episode. Everybody asked me about it all over the place. Y'all have made a hit, and that's why we're gonna do that photo contest too. And we'll be talking a lot more about that before January the 1st. Thank you guys, and always a pleasure. And anything else before we go?
Merry Christmas.
All right, everybody. We'll be back next week. We'll be the Wednesday before Christmas. Y'all need to come to the studio next week.
Yeah, for weather permit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk, and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.